last year. And for Duke, you know all about Langdon, but how about William Avery? He has done a wonderful job at the point for Mike Krzyzewski, really trying to adjust from a score-first player to a distribute-first player. Mike Krzyzewski's had such a tremendous run at Duke. And let's not forget what Bob Huggins has accomplished at Cincinnati either, with a Final Four and 2 other Elite Eights. To his credit, it should be a good one and a physical one as the Bearcats control the tip.
Well, Duke, again, in their signature man-to-man, they don't veer from that very often. Take a look at Cincinnati. They're going to try to attack inside initially, play a little inside-outside.
And Kenyon Martin with a jump hook over Chris Burgess to give Cincinnati an early lead.
Cincinnati's pretty much known for full-court pressure, be it zone or man-to-man. Right now, we see Melvin Levitt picking up Trajan Langdon from the beginning.
And a turnover as Langdon throws it away.
The strength of Cincinnati is their defense. They want to hold you under 40% shooting from the field. They feel if they can do that and they can get to the free throw line, get some luck inside, they should be pretty successful.
They have not played all that well in this tournament, especially in their first round win over Southern Utah. Duke probably playing closer to the top of their game than Cincinnati has been here in Alaska. Ryan Fletcher, 6'8" and 255, another one of the big bodies inside for the Bearcats.
A lot of movement inside by Cincinnati, which is good. It helps at least isolate some guys one-on-one.
Duke has completely dominated their opponents. They had 3 easy games before they got here. They beat Notre Dame easily in round 1 and then had a tough time with Fresno State, but their rebound margin is truly impressive. 20 a game, better than their opponents.
Well, the thing Mike Krzyzewski has to like is that each game in this tournament has been a progression. A little more difficult, presenting a different challenge, and his team has held up to it very well thus far.
Chris Burgess getting another start tonight. Brand inside, a little bit short. And rebound to Cincinnati. The Bearcats are no slouches themselves on the glass. They're top 10 in the NCAA in rebound margin each of the last 4 years. So we've got 2 very good rebounding teams. Fletcher going to work inside and draws the foul.
Well, we talked about at the beginning of the telecast, physical play. You take a look here, Ryan Fletcher on Elton Brand. Fletcher, big, strong guy. He's doing his work early. Look at him use his legs and his hips to push Brand out just one step further than he needs to be, and that takes Brand out of his range.
We talked about it in our Sports Center hit that the Cincinnati game notes list the bench press and how much weight each player can lift. Cincinnati has a customized weightlifting program for each player, and Fletcher might be the strongest. He can bench press 370 pounds, and he has squatted 500 pounds.
Well, I mean, you take a look at this Cincinnati team, and across the line, these guys look like they're posing for Muscle Magazine. They're all pretty thick. Almost looks a little bit like you, Dan.
Oh, yeah. Brand sets a screen that absolutely flattens Melvin Levitt. That leaves Langdon open. Burgess goes over the top for a foul. Melvin Levitt still woozy at midcourt.
Well, Elton Brand sending a message. If Ryan Fletcher's going to push him around, Elton Brand's going to make sure that his presence is going to be felt everywhere on the court. You can best believe in this pressure scheme that Cincinnati likes to run, Melvin Levitt's going to be turning his head. Right there, you know, one of the things that the Duke players say about Elton Brand is that he moves like a deer, but when you hit him, it feels like a truck.
And Melvin Levitt knows firsthand about that. He'll try to answer at the other end, but didn't really shuffle his feet. He just slid a little bit as he tried to jump stop.
Well, Bob Huggins has to be happy, though, with his shot selection. He had been complaining before Melvin Levitt steeped in a bad slump. He'd been complaining that Levitt either wants to take a three or get a dunk. And in this case, he was dribbling, trying to get some position, got into the paint, just couldn't execute.
Levitt scored 14 a game last year, shooting just 29% from the field so far this season. Avery in traffic. No room for the Blue Devils to move, but Carrawell's left open as Avery was doubled for a moment, and Duke's on the board.
At the top, again, Cincinnati trying to do a nice job of keeping Avery from turning the corner and getting into the paint.
4-2 Cincinnati, just over 2 minutes into the championship game here in Anchorage. Martin maybe a little bit out of his range with the jump hook, and Burgess clears. He had 16 rebounds last night. Avery trying to go to work on Logan. Here's Langdon against Levitt in the air and ties the game.
Well, the textbook was open on that one. Avery got into the paint, again, penetrating dish, and Trajan Langdon, a great job of spotting up, staying within Avery's vision.
Langdon had 20 in the win over Notre Dame and 26 last night in the semifinal win over Fresno State. He's one of the leading scorers in this tournament. Tied at 4 early. Here's Fletcher putting the ball on the floor again over Burgess to give Cincinnati the lead.
Ryan Fletcher has shown that he's got a little bit of offense. 11 points last night, 6 rebounds, his best offensive showing of the year.
Lob inside for Brand, double teamed and still hits it. How about that?
I'll tell you what, though, he had to work for it. He bounced up against Fletcher, and Fletcher didn't move.
Fletcher got some help from Kenyon Martin. There's another big body coming soon for Cincinnati, and Jermaine Tate, a transfer from Ohio State. He'll be eligible in a couple of weeks. Rebound, Brand underneath.
Such a great job by Elton Brand in holding his position underneath. That's where his strength comes in.
Langdon and Avery, the backcourt for Duke. Avery from the baseline. Brand, the weak side rebound, and it's out of bounds to Duke.
The focus of the Cincinnati interior defense is Elton Brand. You take a look here, and actually the guy who bumped him was both Martin and Ryan Fletcher. Brand on the fadeaway, still able to connect.
Avery elevates over Logan. It won't stay down for him, and the rebound to Martin.
And one of the things that Cincinnati had to worry about in rebounding was whether or not their big guys were going to block out. Thus far, nice job. We saw Kenyon Martin there putting a body on someone.
Duke's had a remarkable number of offensive rebounds in this tournament. Here's a 5-second violation. Pete Michael, the player we spoke of before the game, Cincinnati's leading scorer and rebounder right now. Taman Demzalski's going to enter the game for the Blue Devils. Chris Burgess will come out. Corey Maggette has also come into the game for the first time. Maggette's a little bit under the weather, as is Shane Battier, who didn't play at all last night. Both Maggette and Battier suffering from the stomach virus. It seems to be going around. A few of the teams have encountered that here this week. Langdon for three. Another offensive rebound. This time it's Maggette. Now Maggette elevates for a three-pointer. Tough shot when he just come into the game. Rebound Michael. 4.5 in, tied at 6. Steve Logan pulls up for three. Brand battling for the rebound, but Fletcher comes out of there with it.
Quick shot by Logan. Nice job by Fletcher to board. Not the type of offense that Bob Huggins wants to see. A little more patience, exploration of the deep.
Steve Martin goes to work on Brand. Inside feed for Pete Michael. The Bearcats take the lead again.
Perfect example of exploring the defense, letting your sets work, allowing the picks to free some people.
8-6 Cincinnati, 5 minutes in. Langdon baseline against by 11 and foul. We have seen more than just a jump shooter from Trajan Langdon here in this tournament. He's gone to the basket and he's created his own shot as well.
Well, if you had seen Trajan Langdon in his freshman year, he was strictly a jump shooter. Now he's learned to put the ball on the floor. A nice job there by Langdon going to the basket, but Levitt's going to have to find a way to get to him instead of going over the pick to follow him through, because if he doesn't, he's going to get free a lot more often.
And anything Langdon can do to get to the line, as you can see, is a tremendous boost to Duke's chances. His parents, Steve and Gladys Langdon, Trajan attending East High here in Anchorage before becoming heavily recruited and going to Duke. Now a fifth-year senior, he's come back home to play in this tournament. And Comley hits both free throws to tie the game at 8 and send us to our first timeout. Looks like we've got a good one on our hands here in Anchorage. There's the governor. He's shaking more hands than the governor has recently. And
I don't know if he was settled for lieutenant governor.
Duke in white, Cincinnati in black, tied at 8. Alvin Mitchell's now coming at the point, number 14 for the Bearcats. Changes for both teams, with Shane Battier making his first appearance for Duke. That's Eugene Land into the game for Cincinnati. Misses the short jumper. Levitt, the offensive rebound, hangs and hits. He is one of the superior athletes in college basketball with a vertical leap of 41.5 inches. In Levitt and Maggette, we really have two of the special athletes in the game, in this game tonight.
Take a look right now. Cincinnati is in a man-to-man, but what they were doing was packing it in so there would be no turning of the corner getting into the paint. You give that kind of room, though, for William Avery, and he's proven that he will burn you.
Serious range for Avery, who hit 6 3-pointers in Duke's win over Notre Dame 2 nights ago. 1-point lead for the Blue Devils. Michael guarded by Nate James, also into the game for Duke, and Michael muscles his way in off the glass.
Well, Pete Michael, the best player, the most skilled player on the Cincinnati Bearcat team. When he saw the one-on-one isolation with Nate James, his eyes opened wide.
Michael from Indian Hills Community College, a first-team junior college All-American. Avery tries another three-pointer. Domzalski down to the floor. And he's called for the travel.
Well, we told you it would be physical inside. A lot of bodies banging, everyone going up for the ball. Take a look here. Here's some bumps, grabbing. You know, big, strong guys in there. Domzalski comes off nicely, but loses his footing inside. We're going to see a lot more of that, particularly as guys bump each other below the waist.
Trajan Langdon back into the game, and this time for William Avery. So Langdon will operate at the point. Cincinnati doing a good job on the glass right now. You see what Duke has done to their other opponents. Bearcats even on the glass so far. Mitchell, Levitt rather, baseline, and it drops in. Melvin Levitt, we've seen that mid-range jumper a couple of times.
And that's what he's been focusing on the last two games.
Avery and Langdon, the only two true guards Duke has. So when Avery comes out, Langdon's the point guard. That's out of bounds and over to Cincinnati.
Well, we talked about a little bit of a soft spot in Duke's armor, so to speak, and it has been turnovers, 17 turnovers a game, and many times it's in trying to make the play off of a penetration, off of a pass within the pivot. That's something that Mike Krzyzewski wants to see his team get better at.
Bearcats not looking intimidated, nor should they be. Ranked 14th in the country. Fletcher looks inside. Now kicking it back out. 15-footer drops in for Eugene Land, a freshman out of Cincinnati. The only scholarship player the Bearcats have from Cincinnati. A lot of depth in the front court for the Bearcats. And another turnover. They're struggling without Avery on the floor.
And again, it was impeding the post this time.
Levitt wide open for three, and he's hot early. Melvin Levitt, 3 for 3, 7 points. Cincinnati on a big run right now to take an 8-point lead. Duke started slowly. Now in all 3 games here in this tournament. Ended up blowing out the Irish.
Nice job by Fletcher right there, holding his ground, not allowing Brand to push him out of the way.
3 seconds the call. Brand 6'8", 260, but Fletcher 6'8", 255, so that's a standout.
And I tell you, that's what really motivates these guys to go in the weight room. I'm sure Cincinnati probably going to clip this and put it on their highlight film. Take a look right here. Fletcher doing his work early, holding his spot. Normally, Brand will lower his shoulder, bump the defender to make some room for himself, but Fletcher will not move.
Avery has come back into the game. Duke has turned it over 5 times, 3 of them since Avery left, and that was just a couple of minutes ago. Now Levitt has it knocked free. Chris Burgess to the floor. It's still loose, and Avery has it rejected by Martin right to Langdon. What a wild sequence. It's out of bounds, and Cincinnati's ball after some hectic basketball.
And we told you this is not for the faint of heart. These two teams are bumping and grinding.
And Cincinnati right now is winning most of the battles. They have an 8, been a showdown to this point here in Alaska. And although Cincinnati is missing 2 probable starters in point guard Michael Horton and forward Jermaine Tate, they have shown a lot of depth and a lot of resilience so far tonight. Brand to the floor, a near steal.
Duke has come out of this timeout much more active on the defensive end. Elton Brand chasing Kenyon Martin way out towards the half-court line.
Michael going to work on a Carrawell. Fletcher left open. Misses the jumper. The follow is good by Pete Michael, and Cincinnati's got a double-digit lead.
And Cincinnati also had 3.5 black shirts right there in the paint to crash the offensive board, something that you have to do against this Duke defense.
Michael already with 6 points, 3 rebounds. Here's Mitchell with a steal. It's Cincinnati ball. Alvin Mitchell, a teammate of Pete Michael at Indian Hills Community College last year. Cincinnati got them both from the same place.
Take a look at the shot right here from Fletcher, and you see the 3 shirts right around the basket. The half shirt is number 14, Mitchell, but you have to be there when you play against Duke because their D is so good they're going to force you to miss. You got to take advantage of second chance opportunity.
Cincinnati out rebounding Duke. Martin tries to look inside. A good help by Burgess, and Cincinnati resets. Remember, a 45-second shot clock in effect here, although it doesn't look like it'll be a factor. Fletcher traveled.
That time Fletcher had anticipated a backdoor cut by Michael a lot sooner than Michael made it and kind of fell off balance in trying to hold on to the ball.
Bob Huggins has brought Sean Myrick into the game wearing number 3. He was huge for Cincinnati off the bench in their first round win over Southern Utah with 16. Brand spinning into the lane, can't get it to go down, follows his shot, and is rewarded with a Duke possession.
Right now, Duke is looking for someone on the offensive end to kind of take over a little bit, give them a boost. They tried to go to Langdon. Cincinnati playing him very well on the perimeter, so the next option was Elton Brand.
Here's Langdon in the corner, being bumped by Myrick. Myrick at 200 pounds and barely 6 feet if that. Is very strong. Carrawell misses. Rebound to Mitchell.
Too quick a shot by Carrawell.
Mitchell into the lane. Michael, and he'll shoot a couple.
Quick shots turn into transition baskets, transition opportunities.
Bob Huggins, although maybe not on the surface, has to be getting happier and happier. He was very upset with his team a couple of nights ago. He pulled out all 5 starters at one point, but they're playing good, tough Cincinnati basketball here tonight.
Well, again, his focus is definitely on the defensive end, and I know he's got to like his team's effort on that end, particularly the way they're not allowing the Duke guards to penetrate that often. They've made the adjustment on Langdon, and they're following him out instead of trying to cut over top of picks, and they're playing him very closely.
Pete Michael, not only the player of the year in junior college last year, has won 2 consecutive junior college national championships. And Pete Michael has won 75 games in a row, 72 with Indian Hills, and now 3 with Cincinnati. He hasn't lost a game in more than 2 years.
And there's no substitute for that type of winning experience. Cincinnati would love to have Pete at least expose the other guys to that type of attitude going out there winning championships.
Cincinnati up pretty big right now, 23-11. Avery hangs and hits. And Brandon Langdon get most of the attention, but William Avery just might be the most important player Duke has because he's the most irreplaceable player Duke has. Nobody else on the team seems to be able to do the things that he can do. Martin working on Brand. And a travel's called on Martin, and after the fact, gets a little physical.
Well, everybody's looking at each other, but the bottom line is these guys are going to be bumping all night, and it's not a question of losing your focus and your attitude. You just have to accept it and move on. And I think Kenyon Martin and Elton Brand understand that's part of the game.
For a physical game, the foul totals are very low. Duke's committed 3. Cincinnati only 1.
So to the officials' credit, they know it's a physical game. As long as guys aren't bumping and grabbing to get an advantage, they're going to let these guys play. Big boy. He can handle it.
Mitchell, 3-point attempt. And the rebound to Brand underneath. He'll clear it with an elbow and start Duke back the other way. McGetty's back into the game. And he's been a guy who's given them a spark offensively off the bench. See if he can do it tonight. Foul on Myrick.
And that time, Sean Myrick a little late getting out on Trajan Langdon. We talk about an adjustment you have to make. When Langdon comes off those pin downs, you've got to follow him. Force him to curl if you have to. He'll curl in to help back into the paint. But if you let him pop straight out on the perimeter to receive and turn and face, he's going to hurt you.
Battier on the floor for Duke. Fletcher's return for Cincinnati. Avery and Mitchell, a couple of speedsters, and Avery wins the battle but misses the shot. Battier the follow. He has barely played in this tournament, played only a few minutes in the win over Notre Dame, and didn't even come to the arena last night when Duke beat Fresno State. Inside for Fletcher. Double team, finds the open man.
Nice look by Fletcher.
And Eugene Land looks like he's got a pretty nice mid-range jumper.
I'll tell you, overall, you got to like Cincinnati's patience. You know, they haven't really panicked when they met with a double team.
McGetty forcing the issue. Out of bounds to the Bearcats.
By the same token, there have been times when you watch the Duke offensive players, they've really tried to force the issue. I know Corey McGetty is a great physical talent, but once again, you got to use discretion. Instead of the lean, going straight up, he would have elevated right over Fletcher and would have had an open look at the basket.
Surprising beginning to this game with Cincinnati leading Duke by 10. Steve Logan back into the point for the Bearcats. Another one of the many new players. He's a freshman from Cleveland. Cincinnati has 7 new players from a year ago. Michael gets into the lane again, kick it out for the open man, and Eugene Land has that shot down pat.
And the Bearcats have that penetrating dish of their own down pat. A nice job by Michael in making the play. That's the sign of a great player, someone who not only contributes by scoring, but makes other people better.
Avery on a nice feed, has it knocked away, and a break for Cincinnati. Melvin Levitt, there's that 41.5-inch vertical leap.
Uh-oh. I got a feeling, you see, Mike is his eyes are thinning, recognizing that his team is in trouble right now. It's going to be very interesting to see how they respond mentally.
Offensive foul committed by Langdon. Land helping at the other end as well. What a job the freshman has done.
That's a perfect example of what I mean by responding mentally. That time Trajan Langdon trying to do it himself. You got to play together.
It's early, but Duke on the ropes right now. Cincinnati with its largest lead of the night. 14 points. Melvin Levitt getting up there here in Alaska.
Call your East Coast relatives. Tell them to turn this game on.
Don't concede anything to the Blue Devils. The Bearcats certainly have it. 29-15 Cincinnati. Langdon back on the bench.
Wake them up if you have to. This is going to be something.
Levitt baseline tipped back in by Fletcher.
Well, I'll tell you, the big guys inside for Cincinnati right now, there's no back down, and they're kind of manhandling the Duke big men. They're setting up, getting position, and not giving it up. Elton Brand does his thing right there.
And Kenyon Martin had to come over for the foul. We're in the championship game at the Great Alaska Shootout here in Anchorage, Alaska. Sold-out Sullivan Arena. Everybody rooting for Duke, with Trajan Langdon being the hometown hero, as it were. And he's had a couple of good games. Has not had a very good game so far tonight. Dan Schulman, Len Elmore with you, and maybe everybody's surprised, even this guy, at how well the Bearcats have played. Bob Huggins kind of played down his team's chances a little bit today, talking about Duke's got this, Duke's got that, and refused to acknowledge that his team was any good at all.
Hey, if you've been around coaches long enough, you know that was coach speak. You talk to some of the assistants, and everybody gives you 8, 9, 10 reasons why they can't win. But in reality, there's a twinkle in their eye. They knew that they matched up pretty well, regardless of the outcome of this game.
And we mentioned it before. 2 starters are missing for Cincinnati. Point guard Michael Horton's got a bad foot, didn't even make the trip to Alaska. And forward Jermaine Tate is a transfer from Ohio State who will be eligible second semester, which is in a couple of weeks. Michael, all the way.
Elton Brand knew that he was caught dead to rights that time. All he could do was retreat, wave a little bit, and hope that Michael missed.
McGetty inside. Brand trying to squeeze a tough pass. One-on-one with Martin, but Fletcher's there to help out if needed. And a travel on Elton Brand.
Hey, you got to give Kenyon Martin a lot of credit on that. Elton Brand, great footwork, very quick on the block, but Martin stayed with him all the way. Again, on the Duke pressure, Cincinnati gets past the first wave, and Elton Brand's caught standing underneath the basket. He's not going to contest it because Duke can ill afford to have him getting foul trouble.
Again, Cincinnati breaks the pressure, and again, numbers at the other end. This time, they'll wait a little bit longer. Mitchell for 3. It's a 19-point lead for Cincinnati. Alvin Mitchell played his first year at Nebraska and lit up Cincinnati for 16 points. After a year at junior college, Bob Huggins remembered that game and brought him over. He and Michael teammates in junior college last year. McGetty answers the best way he knows how, and that might pump up the team and the crowd. Levitt with a tough pass, maybe ill-advised, and a foul is called.
Levitt didn't really have to get the ball that quickly. As a matter of fact, it was a 2-on-1 break had he held possession and dribbled.
We talked about the spark McGetty can give the Blue Devils off the bench. Here it is.
And it came out of the offense. Spread floor, the ability to turn the corner. That's why you know that Cincinnati's very concerned about the people out front for Duke turning the corner and getting into the paint.
This is a very physical game. Martin still bent over. He appears to be hurt. Shane Battier has gone back to the Duke bench, and he doesn't look so hot either. There's Martin banging knees with Elton Brand, perhaps. Martin stays having his best game of the tournament. Michael can't get it to go down, and Gonzalski the rebound.
So very smooth inside with Pete Michael.
Leading scorer and rebounder for Cincinnati. Carawell forcing a shot. Battling for it. Burgess comes out with it. Cincinnati wants to travel, but Duke
turnovers. They force 17 turnovers per game. And when you don't have a good differential against quality teams like Cincinnati, that's going to come back to haunt.
Look how Cincinnati is shooting the ball as well. Double the percentage of Duke tonight. With Avery back to the bench, Langdon back in the game. Getting guarded by Michael. Duke's offense tonight, but underneath, Maggette follows and lays it back in.
Third possession in a row that Duke has been able to keep the ball alive on the board. This is a critical juncture for Cincinnati, if you can believe it or not, whether or not they have the strength, the stamina, and the focus to continue to block the big people from Duke off the board.
They're up 15. There's Levitt, got Carrawell on him. Melvin Levitt's had an excellent first half after struggling mightily in Cincinnati's 2 wins to get here. Fletcher and Burgess way out on him, 22 feet away from the basket.
Duke extending their defense to come out a lot further, forcing Cincinnati to receive further than they had been in the first 12, 14 minutes of this game.
But when Cincinnati shoots the way Duke shot 2 nights ago against Notre Dame, it may not matter. Another three-pointer for Alvin Mitchell.
And if you're looking at any solace in the performance for Duke, they've been playing pretty good defense. It's just that Cincinnati has been red hot from the outside, and there's really not an awful lot you can do about that.
64% from the field. Langdon, a three-point attempt, yes. 42% career out there. He gets a big one here. With a slow start to this game for Trajan Langdon. That's his first 3 in 4 attempts tonight. Working on the point guard, Mitchell, for Cincinnati. Michael trying to post Carrawell inside. Mitchell not shy. Burgess tips it to himself.
Not a lot of ball movement, uncharacteristic of the offensive scheme that Cincinnati came here with. You got to move the ball. Again, make the defense change.
Carrawell cut off on the baseline. Cincinnati doing a great job on defense, helping out. And there's Martin with a steal, and he wants a timeout of the first half. Into the game now for Cincinnati is Aaron McGee. It's a much smaller lineup for the Bearcats with Land and McGee both at 6'7". They're the big men, but they're both pretty strong as well. This is the first time Cincinnati has gone with both Fletcher and Martin on the bench.
Not really a lot of offensive-minded players on the team. Land's been getting open jump shots, but the guy you look for is Michael.
Land couldn't get it to stay down. It was a nice move into the paint for a guy who, as you said, is not really known for his offense. Avery, three-point attempt, and a big one for Duke to bring him back within a dozen.
Well, we talked about it being a critical juncture. Focus on the defensive end.
William Avery trying to lead the Blue Devils back. His second three-pointer, 8 on the night, but Duke's still down 12. Down in Puerto Rico, number 1 Duke, coached by Mike Krzyzewski, and a dogfight here against Cincinnati.
You can definitely expect the beginning of the week some major shifts in the polls.
Michael with great position inside on Nate James. Cincinnati has found themselves something here in Pete Michael. He's got a dozen, already higher than the season average.
Good play coming out by Cincinnati. Just an ISO for Michael. Now defensively is where they got to make a move here.
Diving for the loose ball, Michael commits the foul. We talked about Cincinnati hanging in and at one point leading Duke on the glass. The Blue Devils have bounced back to cut into the lead zone.
And that's happened within the last 3 minutes or so when Cincinnati seemed to forget about putting a body on someone. But Duke hasn't been able to convert those into enough baskets to get themselves back in this game.
Also, Fletcher and Martin were both on the bench. Both are now back in the game. Burgess played with so much confidence last night against Fresno State. Langdon a three-pointer. And I think that might have been tipped, and it still went in.
Not a whole lot you can do. Ryan Fletcher dead in his face, and Langdon still finds just enough daylight.
10 points for Trajan Langdon to lead Duke. Slowly but surely, Duke cutting into this lead. It's gone from 19 down to 11. Just over a minute and a half to play in the first half. Myrick, baseline, got it. Boy, tough shot for Sean Myrick.
Well, we talked about it throughout this tournament. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Not a good shot, but something that Cincinnati needed. Right now, Cincinnati having a hard time with the pick and roll out top.
Martin ties up Burgess, and that should be Cincinnati ball regardless of the arrow. One of the new rules, and it is. The arrow favors Duke, but when the defense causes the tie-up, the defense gets the ball.
And I can tell you right now, Kenyon Martin and his aggressive play and grabbing the ball from Burgess sent a message that they are still going to play some physical basketball. I was going to make the point, though, that out top, in the pick and roll situation, that's where Cincinnati's had their big big problem, and they started to bring people out a little more. That allowed Duke to feed the ball in the post.
Martin still looks like he's hurting a little bit, but he has played awfully well here in the first half.
Although, some guys just have that look that, they're in pain
that Jim
the whole
Brown?
time. Meanwhile, they're just busting you throughout the game.
Here's Brand with a steal, and Martin just grabbed his jersey. For the payback. Coming up soon on the Courtyard by Marriott halftime report, we're going to join ESPN News to update you on some NCAA basketball action. Kentucky and UCLA meeting tonight. Also Maryland and Pittsburgh, and also some football action with Notre Dame taking on USC in one of the great college football rivalries. Under a minute to play in the half. Battier returns for Duke. 5-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock.
And you see stepping out on the screen and roll. Nice job of showing there by Land.
Battier. Duke wants to see more offense out of him. He's an outstanding defensive player. Mike Krzyzewski gave him some homework over the summer. Let's look for your shot more.
An excellent job. Even though Land had stepped out, Battier recovered nicely and put the ball on the floor.
So Cincinnati will take a double-digit lead to the break. They can hold for last shot.
And even though they will go in with a lead, Duke has got to be heartened by the way they've come back right now. They're playing with a lot more life and more vigor.
Melvin 11 elevates and hits. 13-point lead. Avery hustling down, gets it off and hit it. Well, let's remember that at the end of the game.
That'll make you feel good coming back.
A disappointing first half for Duke ends with an exhilarating moment as William Avery hits a leading three-pointer at the break to cut the Cincinnati lead to 10 at halftime.
It looks like he gets it off just in time.
That could be a real turning point, and maybe it'll take a little steam away from Cincinnati, but they still have played awfully well and have a Cincinnati with 12 points. Here's the big story. Look at what Elton Brand and Chris Burgess were able to do against Fresno State last night, and look at what they were held to by physical Cincinnati in the first half tonight.
Well, particularly Elton Brand, you take a look, 3 field goal attempts, which means that he hasn't gotten the ball where he needs to in order to be effective. And in effect, he's been frustrated, and you could see it sometimes because he's been complaining to the refs, and I really never thought that I would see that. Usually it's people complaining about Elton Brand.
Avery hangs and hits, and Avery closed the first half with a leaning three-pointer with the buzzer, starts the second half with a two-pointer to get Duke back with an 8, and then he gets smacked on a tough screen.
Well, the first 5 minutes of this game, of this half, very important for Cincinnati, primarily because Duke is known for its spurts right now. They're the type of team that really puts it together offensively and defensively for a spurt to take you out of a game. This is going to get them back in the game. Cincinnati has to exercise its patience and continue to focus on the interior defense.
Carrawell commits the foul, his first. This is as close as Duke has been since the 8.5-minute mark of the first half. Cincinnati led by as many as 19. It was 36-17 at one point. Burgess knocks it out of bounds. Still Cincinnati ball.
And again, we can see Duke extending their defense. Elton Brand coming out to play Kenyon Martin. And the reason for that is too many easy entry passes into the post in the first half for Cincinnati. That's why they were shooting such a high percentage. Duke trying to pressure the passers right now.
Logan, a freshman at the point for Cincinnati, splitting time with a junior, Alvin Mitchell, because of the injury to Michael Horton. Logan in trouble with Avery, finds the open man in Fletcher. Still plenty of time to shoot it with a 45-second clock.
Great D by Duke right now, forcing Cincinnati to go back door and run away from the ball.
Levitt had a great first half, air ball on his first attempt of the second half, and here's Duke on the run. Burgess, the spin, and the travel.
Not the ending that Duke would like, but certainly the beginning. Another turnover. Actually, another missed shot, a quick shot, a poorly taken shot that translates into transition.
Krzyzewski appears pretty stoic over there on the Duke bench, but especially at times during the first half, he had to be awfully worried about what he was seeing tonight.
Well, he has confidence in this team. You know, there may be one senior in the starting 5, but these guys have a reasonable amount of experience. But just as importantly, Mike was focused on what to do to make an adjustment as opposed to panic.
Fletcher misses the 18-footer. Brand has the rebound. Mitchell has already replaced Logan at the point here early in the second half. Now Huggins will make changes quickly if he doesn't like what he sees. Brand from 15 now gets inside. It is swatted away by Martin, but a foul prior to the block.
And believe it or not, even though they're up by 8, this is very critical for Cincinnati to get back to doing the things that they had originally done. This time you saw Avery able to penetrate inside, kick it back out to Brand, who himself from the free throw line penetrated into the paint. A lot of this never happened in the first half.
The foul on Mitchell, his first. Brand at the line. Just 4 points in the first half. And one thing Duke has done at a tremendous rate is get to the free throw line this year, getting there more than twice as often as the opposition. But tonight, at least to the break, each team has been there only 4 times.
Duke averaging 35 free throw attempts per game. That's an awful lot of points and point opportunities the teams are giving to them.
They're on a 7-0 run right now. The Blue Devils are. Levitt in heavy traffic still converts.
And again, Melvin Levitt focused on not settling for the 3, but taking a mid-range shot, getting himself in good position for a high percentage jumper.
Levitt with 13 to lead the Bearcats. Here's Brand bumping with Fletcher. Fletcher got some help, and it's a tie-up. And it'll be Cincinnati ball. I think it was Michael who came over and caused the tie-up.
Irresistible force and the immovable object just meant right there. You take a look here, Fletcher's going nowhere. Brand does his usual bump with the shoulder to make room, and it's like bumping a brick wall.
We saw some Notre Dame and Fresno State players go flying when Elton Brand did that move in the last couple of games.
A little bit of backcourt pressure again applied by William Avery.
Bob Huggins told us today, watch out for us in a couple of months when we get everybody back and when the new players get adjusted. But watch out for Cincinnati now. Michael has it blocked, got it back. Still 20 on the shot clock. Fletcher really good at feeding the post, and a jump hook by Martin. Fletcher's done a great job from the high post of getting the ball inside.
And that was a great example of the patience that I spoke of. Rather than taking a quick shot, they got themselves set.
Langdon open for 3. The follow by Carrawell. We had a great championship game here in Alaska last year with North Carolina defeating Purdue, and it looks like it's going to be another terrific one here tonight between Duke and Cincinnati. It has been to this point. Fletcher inside. Burgess got a piece. Fletcher hustles for the rebound. Mitchell gets Langdon in the air. 2-pointer, yes.
Well, you can't say enough about Alvin Mitchell. You know, here's the guy that's given a big boost at the point guard position with Michael Horton, the starting guard at home.
Avery into the lane and draws the foul. Mitchell's got 8 points on tonight, and if Horton were healthy, he might not be playing much at all.
Talk about Alvin Mitchell. Yesterday he did a nice job against Iowa State with 7 points and 5 assists. Here it's on the offensive end that he's given a boost. A nice little pump fake to get by the defender. But on the other end, wasn't able to catch up to William Avery. Avery still getting around his man beginning in the second half, and that's going to prove to be trouble for Cincinnati.
Mitchell, his second foul. Battier and Maggette into the game. Battier hit a couple of jumpers in the first half for Duke. Carrawell goes out. Avery at the line. As talented as Avery is, the one advantage Cincinnati has is they do have 2 point guards in Logan and Mitchell, so neither one of them figures to get tired chasing Avery around. Cincinnati breaks the pressure again. Mitchell with some good hops off the Fletcher. He'll pull it back out.
Sometimes you have to attack once you beat that first wave.
Michael fouled inside. Michael's got a lot of versatility in his game on the wing.
Well, I mentioned in the first half, I think he's probably the most skilled player on the Cincinnati team right now. He can take you outside. He can go inside. He's an excellent defender. That time, he caught the freshman, Corey Maggette, down on the block in the post and never let him off his hip. Kept Maggette behind him and forced him to foul.
Left-hander misses the first. Mike Krzyzewski's Blue Devils already 5-0. 4 of the 5 wins in very convincing fashion. Got a battle from Jerry Tarkanian at Fresno State last night in a game that was tied at the half. Right now, Cincinnati leading by 9. Cincinnati has never before, as Avery gets to the glass and drops it in, Cincinnati has never before defeated a #1 team. Trying to do it here tonight.
Well, we talked about at the beginning of the telecast, one of the keys is to keep Avery from going around the corner. You take a look here, Fletcher never steps out and holds his ground. He gets back to his man and gives Avery a free lane down the hole. And again, that's a big mistake for Cincinnati because, one, you're obviously giving up points. Secondly, your guys are drawing fouls. But third, you're giving Duke an awful lot more confidence.
Third on Martin, 18 points for William Avery. He leads all scorers in this game. Duke back within 6. Less than 4 minutes into the second half. A ton of time. And it's going to be Duke ball. Myrick commits the foul. Number 2 on Myrick. That'll take him out of the game right now as Steve Logan comes back in. And Huggins very upset with Myrick. He's very demonstrative on the bench, especially when he's unhappy. Battier puts it on the floor and draws the contact inside. A good strong move into the paint by Shane Battier.
And that was the key. The operative word, Dan, is strong move to the basket. Duke much more aggressive in their play. This is what gets them 35 attempts from the free throw line a game. And here's Battier going right to the paint. Really didn't have a good shot going to the hole, a little bit off balance, but the fact that he was aggressive enough to go there gave him the edge and gave him the call.
Cincinnati committed only 5 fouls in the first half. They have committed 5 already in this half. Duke getting to the line.
And I got to believe, based on that statistic right there, someone probably at least put a bug in the official's ear. It's a lot of physical play going on, and they were very surprised why they hadn't gone to the line more often than they did. I'm talking about Duke.
And not only are they getting to the line, but as you saw, they are converting a perfect 11 of 11 right now, and Duke is back within 2. Correction, it is a 4-point game. 52-48 Cincinnati. A 19-point lead, which was 10 at the half, is now down to 4.
Again, very active Duke defense, stepping out on picks, looking to double in the corners where they have the opportunity.
Still some time to go. 10 seconds on the shot clock.
5 seconds.
They got it. Duke has stepped up the defensive pressure, and they have really cut into the Cincinnati lead, and they've got the crowd back into it here in Alaska as well. Twice.
Not that he's running for office. Right?
Avery, the lob, and way over the head of even Corey Maggette. Not even Maggette could get that one. Despite the turnover, Avery has really been the star for Duke tonight with 18 points, including 3 three-pointers. Duke really still unable to get Brand and Burgess going inside. They have combined for only 6 points, and all of them belong to Brand.
Duke with the full court pressure. One of the things that they've also done with it is they wear Cincinnati down mentally. And it's going to take a guard like Steve Logan to be able to go straight to the basket, to be able to create opportunities out of that pressure.
Foul inside on Battier, his second, team third. Fletcher with a Brand on him into the paint. A great block by Brand. You don't think of him as a shot blocker, but he recovered beautifully there.
Quick jump.
Getty double team inside. Battier can't get the handle, but it still belongs to the Blue Devils.
And Bob Huggins has got this incredulous look on his face. Why that wasn't a call, I'm sure he wanted to charge, but one way or the other, it should have been a call because there was certainly contact. Take a look here. Fletcher sets up nicely, and Maggette handling the ball. And here he goes to the baseline. Whoa, that was a charge.
Duke gets a break, and Battier again strong to the bucket. A bit of an unexpected source because Battier has been sick and didn't play at all last night. He has given Duke a spark off the bench. Fletcher open, Land in the paint. He had a good first half. The follow by Levitt. He's got it again.
Excellent job by Melvin Levitt, covering the weak side board, and just as good a job in breaking that pressure and finding the open man after Brand had committed himself.
Langdon left all alone, and there's the soft touch of the shooter. And to listen to the crowd when Langdon connects. It is a one-point game. Logan all the way, left hand, rebound Langdon. Duke can take the lead.
Good decision by Logan, but you got to put it down.
And an offensive foul. Now Mike Krzyzewski's the one with the look on his face. Battier called for his third.
Two contrasting styles. Watch the left side of your screen right here. Trajan Langdon going off the screen. Battier with both arms up in the air. And I believe that's what the call was about. You can set a pick, but you can't cross your arms and have your elbows up and make contact with those arms.
That foul, his third, sends Battier to the bench. And he's been a big part of Duke's comeback tonight.
But I know what Battier was thinking. As big and strong as these Cincinnati guys are, if they're going to run into you with a pick, you got to protect yourself.
Just like Fletcher did there for the Bearcats. Fletcher hesitant to shoot. Throws it off the backboard for Martin.
Sweet. Great presence of mind by Ryan Fletcher, and he's coming over, whether it's intended or not, he's coming over to get a pound from Kenyon Martin to let him know that was a plan. Take a look here. First of all, Fletcher made a mistake in not looking at the basket right away, but good decision right there. Looks like something that they've worked on before. And obviously Martin gets fouled by Langdon.
Number 3 on Langdon. Martin at the line for a couple.
So the foul by Langdon, but good foul by Langdon.
Preventing an easy two. Cincinnati's lead down to a single point. Once again, Duke can tie, maybe take the lead. They have hit a ton of three-pointers here in this tournament. 15 in their first game against the Irish. Tonight, Duke's got 6. 3 by Avery, 3 by Langdon. Turnover, though.
Good job by Fletcher.
Michael leading the break. Looking for the cutter. Now finds Fletcher on the baseline. Brand knocks it away into the floor to keep it in bounds. Off Michael, out of bounds, and back over to Duke. A great play by Brand.
Excellent defensive play by Elton Brand. Again, we talk about his quickness, particularly his hands. But I will say this, Cincinnati's offense is bogged down when they're in their half court. The cutters are not coming to meet the passer. They're not getting in his vision. And with this Duke defense, you're going to get tied up and you're going to get steals.
Carrawell back into the game. Has an opening. Misses the shot. Levitt way up there for the rebound.
Not a good shot by Carrawell, especially you take a look at the time and score situation. You want an opportunity to at least tie this ball game up on that possession instead of giving Cincinnati a chance to go up by at least 4.
Logan inside for Martin. Michael posting. And before the shot, we've got a foul on the floor. More basketball coming your way Monday night. A women's action at 7 Eastern on the Deuce. It's number 3 Tennessee and number 2 Louisiana Tech. Shamiqua Holtzlaw and the Lady Vols look for their 4th consecutive national championship. This is a rematch of last year's championship game Monday night on ESPN2. Cincinnati with the ball and a 2-point lead midway through the second half of the championship game here in Alaska. Fletcher with a wild shot and Gonzalski back into the game for the board. Avery's got range. He's hit a couple of NBA threes here in this tournament. This time puts it on the floor and ties the game.
What a night for Avery. And Avery's been the key that's unlocked this Cincinnati defense. Putting it on the floor, getting around his defender, something he couldn't do first half.
A game-high 20 for Avery. Normally the underdog would be the crowd favorite, but it's all Duke here because of Trajan Langdon. Levitt had it stripped by Langdon, got it back, and an over and back call on Melvin Levitt. Levitt saying he was pushed across the line.
Well, the official's right on the line.
As if the crowd needed any more reason to cheer. Now Langdon's got him going. Avery baseline. Duke ties it up.
Ball never went into the back court. The ball stayed in the front court.
Duke will try to take the lead. William Avery with the ball and a game-high 20 points. Now he's got Levitt on it. Brand wants it inside. Brand's been held to only 6 points, only 1 field goal. Avery baseline, too quick. It's been that long since Duke has had a lead. Almost 23 minutes of action. Cincinnati's 19-point lead has evaporated. See how they respond. Martin getting the elbow up a little bit on Brand. Land feeds it inside for Michael, and a foul. Was it Langdon? Number 4 on Trajan Langdon. Another key moment in this game. Dad doesn't like the call. Langdon's going to come out with better than 11 minutes to play. Battier comes back in. Oh, there's your mom and dad right there. Dad argues the call, and mom gets up to cheer as son goes to the bench. At the line, Pete Michael. Cincinnati misses the free throw, but the follow by Eugene Land, the freshman's been the unsung hero tonight for the Bearcats.
Big basket for Cincinnati, keeps them even. And certainly poor execution by Duke, not blocking off. Land should never get that close to the rim on a free throw.
Duke's already committed 7 fouls this half. Cincinnati's going to be at the line a lot. Will they be able to convert? Battier on the wing. Again, unable to get the ball into Brand, and this time it's Land on it. Avery way outside. Long rebound. And 11 over the back of Battier to knock it out of bounds. It'll still belong to Duke.
One of the things that you notice on that particular play is that on the offensive boards, instead of having the white shirts on the backs of the black shirts, it's the other way around right now. Duke is doing a much better job getting position on the offensive glass.
And they've got a fresh possession as a result. Tied at 57. Battier baseline. Harrowell. Avery was open on the wing for a moment. Pretty good tough defense by Cincinnati. And an offensive, or travel rather, is called on Duke to turn it back over. Now Cincinnati can retake the lead. Duke's already at their season average for turnovers, which is fairly high. And there's still 10 minutes to play.
Another hard pick there by Martin. Again, Duke players, even though they're playing tough, they can turn their heads looking for the picks.
Battier got the screen, then got the steal. And Brand gets the basket and the foul at the other end.
We've said it time and time again. We just marvel at the agility of the big man. 6'8", 260, running the break. And here he is in a nice jump stop. He puts it on the floor, protects it from the defender, and still gets himself in good position, not only to score, but to take the foul.
Just his second field goal of the night. Brand 4 of 5 now from the line. And the rebound to Fletcher. Every rebound is really being contested under the basket. Duke's up 2 on Cincinnati here in the championship game of the 21st annual Great Alaska Shootout. Cincinnati leading by as many as 19 in the first half. Dan Sherman and Ed Elmore enjoying this one, and we hope you are as well. Here we go again. This is what it's been like a lot tonight. A very, very physical game. Avery, good look. Maggette, Brand.
Duke continues to swarm with their defense. Cincinnati not cognizant of protecting the ball. And the working arms, you see it there with Shane Battier. The working hands and arms of Duke are creating loose ball opportunities, and they've been the aggressors. And here in transition, you take a look at Avery getting the ball in the paint, and Elton Brand just hiding behind the defenses. Good unselfish play. There's a little bit of enthusiasm, a little bit of exuberance from the big fella.
At the other end, Brand got a little bit too exuberant with Kenyon Martin and picked up his second foul. Cincinnati's in the bonus. Martin to the line for the 1-and-1.
Neither team being in the penalty in the first half. That worked in Cincinnati's favor. In the second half, though, from a free throw standpoint, in Duke's favor because they're the better free throw shooting team.
Duke's ball. Martin on the season now is only 4 of 11 from the free throw line. Duke by 4 with the ball. 9 minutes to play. Mitchell in for Logan at the point. Duke a little more content here in the second half to probe for an opening in that Cincinnati defense. Carrawell, great position by Brand, but before the shot, there's a foul.
One of the few times Ryan Fletcher, when he's guarded Elton Brand, has let Brand set up, catching him on Brand's back and set up right underneath the basket. You know, obviously that's been the absolute no-no for the team. You take a look here, right there, Brand has got Fletcher locked. Not a whole lot Fletcher can do about it.
Number 3 on Fletcher. Martin has 3 as well. Both the big men for Cincinnati. Fletcher grabs the rebound and keeps it away from Battier. Langdon has 4 for Duke. Trajan Langdon on the bench with 4 fouls. He left at the 11-11 mark. There's Martin over Brand. Left it short. Rebound Brand.
Kenyon Martin's got to put it on the floor, get a little bit better position for that jump shot, make a little contact with Elton Brand and try to draw the foul. But as far as Duke is concerned offensively, they don't have the real three-point threat with Langdon on the bench. So look for them again to try to work the ball inside. Look how they spread the floor, looking for some cutters against this matchup that Cincinnati's playing right now.
Avery taking charge at the point.
It's kind of a 2-3 zone, but they're matching up. Wherever there's a guy, particularly in the free throw line extended and down low, they're going to look to match up.
Under 10 on the shot clock right now. Avery spinning, hanging. Doesn't get it. Martin had the rebound, but good hands by Brand and Avery to wrestle it away.
And Kenyon Martin's having a problem with his wrist right now. He got slammed on it. Looks taped right now. And for a rebounder, it really places you at a disadvantage.
That's about 3 times tonight we've seen different injuries for Kenyon Martin. Carrawell. And the rebound 11. Look at him get up there at 6'3".
I thought he was one of the big guys. Oh, man.
There's that 41-inch vertical leap. We've seen it on display a couple of times, and now Cincinnati's going to take a timeout. And you're right, Kenyon Martin's in some pain. Needless to say, the Bearcats desperately need a score. They have been stone cold offensively the last few minutes. Fletcher, Mitchell, Martin, Michael, and 11 for Cincinnati. Michael, left-hander, left hand.
That's the guy you go to if you need a score, if you're Cincinnati. And once again, you have a situation here where there's contact. Shane Battier goes down. There's no call. Now, I can understand they probably call the fact that Battier...
Trajan Langdon back in the game with 4 fouls. Battier, double pump, chases the rebound. Cincinnati's got it.
And Battier got himself in trouble with the double pump. Against that zone, you receive at the dotted line. It's either shoot or pass, no hesitation. Otherwise, the defense collapses on you as they did.
See if the Bearcats try to go with Langdon and try and get him out of this game. He's guarding Levitt, and now Mitchell, wrapped up by Avery, has to burn the timeout.
And see, that's when...
It is amazing how popular he is. He's on the front page of the newspaper every day. Wasn't able to play in the 95 shootout because of an injury. This was really a gift from Mike Krzyzewski to Trajan Langdon to get him back here one more time. Cutting is Michael. Tough pass, though. He's got it. And finds Martin, who left it short, follows, and ties the game. What a sequence for the Bearcats.
Great hustle by both teams. Cincinnati fortunate enough to come up with it. This is that point in the game where everybody has to go down for every loose ball.
Cincinnati with 18 second chance points to 6 for Duke.
Cincinnati staying in their matchup zone situation.
Not a great shot by Avery, but Battier a big rebound.
And I tell you, Ryan Fletcher has to be careful. You may not want to front Elton Brand in that zone because if the shot goes up, Brand now has the advantage on the board.
5.5 to play. 30 seconds on the shot clock for Duke. Carrawell sneaking inside. Battier not likely to take it from out there. Langdon, they get out on him in a hurry. Now Carrawell inside, left it short. Brand underneath and puts it back in. Duke leads.
And that's what happens if you try to front Elton Brand inside. He's going to hold his position. Now you're on his back. And he's got a clear shot to the board anytime the shot goes up.
Brand's numbers now starting to come up. 12 points, 6 rebounds. Levitt over Battier to tie it again. Great game tonight for Melvin Levitt. 17 points, and just as importantly, 8 of 11 from the floor.
If I'm Duke, I recognize that situation, try to bring it to the wing. If I can't get it into Brand and
Horton gets healthy, and Jermaine Tate from Ohio State becomes eligible second semester. Cincinnati is going to be one of the deepest teams in the country. Michael up at the top of that zone at 6'6", posing some problems for Avery.
See, here's where I would back up, not off of Avery. I would have backed off of Burgess for sure, but you back off of Avery, you might as well count it.
Avery's fourth three-pointer of the night. He had 6 2 nights ago against Notre Dame. Got a game-high 25 points. What a night for the sophomore.
And see, for Cincinnati, the threes are critical because they don't have great three-point shooting to be able to win.
Levitt will try and succeed. It's his night.
All right, Melvin, I was kidding.
I didn't think he could hear you from all the way over there. Tied at 66. Levitt with 20 points. Avery with 25. Inside of 4 minutes to play.
Cincinnati did come in tonight shooting only 25% from three-point range, so I had the numbers on my side.
Covering your tracks now. Give and go. Burgess and Carrawell. That's pretty. Burgess had 6 assists last night and another good pass there. Mitchell at the point for Cincinnati. Brand way out on Martin. 25 feet from the basket. Open man underneath Mitchell.
You got to shoot that. Draw the foul.
Carrawell got an arm in the way, and Mitchell decided he couldn't put the shot up.
Great defense by Duke, and Mitchell's got to recognize you make more happening by being aggressive.
2-point lead for Duke. 3 minutes to play. Burgess bumped by Mitchell. Feed inside. Brand with position. Fletcher with the rebound. Boy, once he gets the ball, forget about it.
Well, Brand giving a little bit of his own medicine. We talked about Cincinnati being the initiators. That time it was Fletcher who made the first bump and threw Brand off of his rhythm again.
Rebounds are almost dead even in this game. Duke by 2. There's Levitt. Langdon gets screened. 20 on the shot clock. Martin quiet offensively. Blocked by Burgess. Martin's got it back. Shot clock did not reset, obviously. It's down to 7. Mitchell, a long 3.
Oh, my. Bob Huggins right there actually gave him the green light.
Looks like a genius now. 11 points for Mitchell. He's got 3 three-pointers. Cincinnati really outdoing Duke. Second chance opportunities. Avery tries to answer. Tipped up. No. Battling underneath. And Carrawell is grabbed and will shoot a couple.
Shot clock never reset on that last Cincinnati possession, and Bob Huggins is pointing and telling Mitchell, you got to go to the hole, do something. When you get the green light from the coach and you're that far away, it gives you an awful lot of confidence. You know, if you miss, hey, coach, it's on you.
11 off the bench for Mitchell. 4th foul on Kenyon Martin. At the line, Carrawell, who has not attempted a free throw tonight and is a 67% shooter on the season. One more can give Duke the lead. Less than 2 minutes to play, and it's been an outstanding game. Duke leads by 1. 1:46 to play. Which puts on a great show, and they're as helpful as they can be to everybody here at ESPN, and we appreciate all the help they've given us, and we appreciate them arranging such a terrific basketball game for us as well.
Certainly, as a final, this is something that leaves people remembering and wanting more. As you come down, we take a look at the fouls to give in the timeout situation.
2 players have 4 fouls. Trajan Langdon for Duke. He's on the floor. Kenyon Martin for Cincinnati. He's on the
floor. This situation, Cincinnati has to find a way to get it to their guy. Get it to the basket, I should say.
They got a new guy right now. Alvin Mitchell's got 13.
Thought they were going to go to Pete Michael.
Mitchell has shown no fear here tonight. Battier bumps Mitchell to the ground. Avery for three. Rebound to Martin. Cincinnati's got the ball in the lead with just over a minute to play, trying to knock off number 1 Duke.
You got to be careful now. They still have to attack the basket. There's still plenty of time. You don't want to lose the momentum by kicking it back outside and trying to shave off some of the time.
Levitt elevates on the baseline, a basket and a foul.
I think the color blue on that number 1 ranking is fading just a little bit. Talk about attacking the basket aggressively. That's what Melvin Levitt does. There's no hold right there. Looks for the open spot. Gets himself to where he needs to be. And again, he's more or less vindicated Bob Huggins' observation of his game. You don't need to take just a three or a dunk. He's got good enough game to get in between.
Shooting 29% coming into the game, 10 for 13 tonight, and he completes the three-point play. It's a two-possession game with under a minute to go.
Duke does not have to settle for a three right now. There's an opportunity to get a quick two and possibly foul. We talked about Cincinnati, not a great shooting team.
That is a three, a leading three for William Avery. Somewhat similar to the three he hit at the end of the first half. A remarkable night for Avery. He's got 28. We've got a one-point game, 43 seconds to play. Outstanding tournament.
Well, he's absolutely emerged. I talked about you could take a quick two. Well, a quick three is better than a quick two anytime. And William Avery getting around the corner just as he's done for three-quarters of this ballgame.
Now, 43 seconds left in the game. A 45-second shot clock in effect here in this tournament. So the shot clock has been turned off. And a quick foul by Carrawell will send Michael to the line.
Good decision by Duke. Once again, Cincinnati not a great free throw shooting team. To put the pressure on them to get on the line, and plus they have the confidence from the three-point area, and they've got the threat inside for a quick two from Elton Brand. They've just bought off enough time to get back.
Michael is 3 for 5 from the line tonight. Cincinnati led by 19 in the first half. Duke stormed back and took a lead in the second half, and now Cincinnati has responded again. Wow.
63% from the free throw line, and that's what the Bearcats shoot.
Michael got off the line for a while to think about it. Melvin Levitt dragged him back over, so stay right there. Missed them both. The ball in the hands of Langdon, somewhat fittingly here, nearing the conclusion of this tournament. Avery's been the go-to guy, though, tonight. Langdon. Avery. Carrawell for the rebound. Langdon's got it. Plenty of time. Burgess.
Bad shot.
No need to force the shot.
They had plenty of time to reset. That's a question of recognizing time and situation. The only way that you can be satisfied if you're a Duke fan or Mike Krzyzewski with Burgess taking a shot at that time is if he went strong to the basket. Take a look again. Here's the pass. There's still plenty of time on the shot clock. Burgess shot with a hand in his face. If he took it strong to the basket, then you don't have a problem with it.
Alvin Mitchell will be on the line for championship game. Second year in a row, the championship game has been dynamite. Last year, Carolina defeating Purdue 73-69. At the line, Alvin Mitchell has not shot a free throw tonight. You see his numbers on the young season. And Cincinnati killing themselves at the line. Now 7 for 14 tonight.
We talked about that before. The more free throws that are shot in this game in critical situations, the more it plays in Duke's favor. And as devastating as the play by Burgess might have been, Duke is still in the same position right now. They still need a shot to win the game with plenty of time.
2-point game and a timeout called by Cincinnati.
Each gambler play for the win. or are they going to go for the tie? I guess it's going to be a question of judgment right now. If they have an easy two, they go for it. Cincinnati, on the other hand, looking to apply some full court pressure, make it difficult for Duke to get the ball up, certainly stay in front of the shooter.
Avery deep into the corner, kicks it up and in. Tied the game. There's your most outstanding player, folks. William Avery with 30 points.
Yeah, he made the shot. Certainly he put it on the floor and made a difficult shot, but the most important aspect of that whole play was the fact that he recognized that he had beat this guy. And now he takes him as far as he necessarily has to go, right before Kenyon Martin can reach him, and bang. Again, Fletcher on him. He knows he can go around him. He makes a much easier shot because of his quickness.
Trajan
Machine. Now, as the course of the season goes on, whether or not he's a distributor, whether or not he makes the plays that necessarily have to be made, remain to be seen.
3 seconds left. Kenyon Martin.
Man, what a play.
Cincinnati's off the floor. There is still 1 second showing on the clock. Cheerleaders are on the floor, but this game is not over.
The old hook and ladder. They've been watching a lot of college football today.
Well, and they got it to the right guy. What a play. 1 second left. Cincinnati leading by 2. And a ton of emotion in the Bearcat huddle. Let's keep an eye on the play and the clock.
Perfect pass right there from Fletcher. Excellent timing. And it was Trajan Langdon that was victimized. He kept his eye on the ball instead of keeping Levin in front of him. Once again, Fletcher, who was a former high school quarterback, right on the money to Martin. And there's Fletcher, Levin on the back door. Unbelievable.
You draw them up, and sometimes they work. At the most critical of times, first check for Bob Huggins was the clock. He saw 1 second left. Had to get the troops ready to play a little defense. Duke's not done yet.
Remember, William Avery put one in at the buzzer at the end of the first half.
Sports Center follows the conclusion of this game. Battier will throw it in for the Blue Devils. He'll throw it the length of the court. Avery throws it up. It goes in, but it's too late. It's too late. And Cincinnati knocks off number 1 Duke. The crowd absolutely outraged that the bucket didn't count. But it was ruled after the buzzer.
Clearly after the buzzer. As a matter of fact, you could see the ball still in Avery's hand as the buzzer sounded.
A phenomenal championship game here in Alaska. Number 14 Cincinnati, for the first time in its history, defeats a number 1 team, knocking off Duke 77-75 to win the Great Alaska Shootout. One more look at the final play.
Again, a nice pass to the shooter. And it was a good call.
Zeros on the clock as Avery releases the ball. Battier threw it the length of the court, and Fletcher, trying to knock it away, knocked it right to the most dangerous man on the floor in Avery. But the basket is after the buzzer, and Duke leaves a loser to Cincinnati, 77-75, in a game that truly had everything. Cincinnati, the champions of the 1998 Great Alaska Shootout, upsetting number 1.